In our Sunrise Smart Start, one man sent to the hospital after a shooting at a pub in Hilton. Police responded to the Willow Inn on Manitou Road around 10:30 last night for the report of a person who was shot inside the bar. When they arrived, they found a man with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. Investigators say an altercation inside the pub led to the shooting.
We've never had this type of activity, along here at all. So it's definitely, an isolated incident. This isn't an establishment that we had a lot of trouble in or calls for service in.
Well, police say the suspect fled the scene, but they do know who they're looking for. If you have any information about the shooting, you're asked to call Greece Police at 585-865-9200. Firefighters in Rochester responding to a house fire on Orange Street overnight. Crews were called around 3 o'clock this morning. No word at this point on any injuries or what may have caused that fire. We'll continue to provide updates throughout the morning. Rochester police investigating after a man was shot while mowing his lawn on Garson Avenue. It happened Sunday. According to police, that 30-year-old was shot in the lower body. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. There are no suspects in custody. Anyone with information is being asked to call 911. Meanwhile, 2 people sent to the hospital with serious injuries after a head-on crash on Route 96 in Phelps. Ontario County Sheriff's deputies say it happened around 8:30 last night when a car veered into oncoming traffic. 2 women were taken by Mercy Flight to the hospital. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. The road was closed for several hours, but has reopened this morning. In a rare Sunday address, President Biden pushing back against criticism of his troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. He insists the U.S. is working to bring more access to airports and have already dramatically ramped up evacuations over the weekend. We are joined by Washington correspondent Raquel Martin live in D.C. this morning. Raquel, good morning. Let's begin with an update on progress as it relates to the evacuation efforts.
Good morning. Well, yesterday, President Biden, in his address to the nation, said that since August 14th, the U.S. has evacuated nearly 30,000 people from Afghanistan over the course of just 36 hours. He says that was about over 3,000 people this weekend. So definitely says that things are starting to ramp up as we get more troops down to the airport and also more personnel to process these visas. But we're still probably a far cry from getting everyone out. And we know that there was just 8 days until the U.S. withdraws troops from Afghanistan. So that begs the question, could we see troops stay there longer? President Biden was asked this yesterday, and now he is definitely leaving the door open to the possibility. The first priority, he said, is getting every American out who wants to evacuate. So we're going to have to wait and see if they're able to meet that target in time. But there is now mounting pressure for the Biden administration to extend that deadline beyond August 31st.
Certainly a fluid situation in Afghanistan. Raquel, thank you. Vice President Kamala Harris visiting Singapore over the weekend. She says that nation will help with evacuation efforts and evacuation of troops, I should say, from Afghanistan. Hurricane Henri now downgraded to a tropical depression, leaving behind a trail of destruction along the East Coast. According to the National Hurricane Center, the storm is expected to move east today and weaken as it heads back out to sea. All right, James Gilbert, not a huge impact around here for Henri. The winds just a little bit. Yeah. The result of that circular motion, right?
Yeah, right. Coming out of the north, one of those days where, you might glance at radar and you see it's like the rain's moving the wrong way. It doesn't normally move from north to south, but that's going to be the case today as we see a couple of isolated showers and storms pop up. Your run forecast this morning, or maybe jog, dog walk, whatever it is, it's still muggy out there. You'll notice that nearly 100% humidity out there. So it's a muggy start, but still shouldn't kill the golf round. Tee time by the morning time, that's my preferred time. Should be nice to get that round in. But by the afternoon, still warm, still humid. Feels like the upper 80s late in the day. Mark?
All right, James, thank you. Another check of our sunrise traffic on this Monday morning. One accident at this hour, 490 east at the 590 ramp. That's exit 21. Heading out of Rochester along 490 East. Take note if you're going that way this morning. Apart from that, roads are on time at this hour. As the pandemic continues, a lingering question is how it will impact the mental health of children. Carmela Boykin live this morning with a closer look. Carmela, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. While the long-term impacts of the pandemic will show with time, prior research indicates some of the possible outcomes. According to Dr. Susan McDaniel, director for URMC's Family Psychiatry Department, the need for mental health management has recently surged. Studies show that negative childhood experiences can negatively impact an individual's physical and mental health for years to come. But one of the best ways to mitigate this is through taking care of one's body. Dr. McDaniel says the best way for children is something that should be done as often as possible.
Playing with them at home, encouraging play outside and inside is really important. And hopefully the children will be back in school soon. That's the plan right now, and I think it'll be very good for everybody if we can do that.
And Dr. McDaniel says by proactively taking care of yourself and your family, by creating positive experiences where possible, it can seriously mitigate some of the drawbacks of the pandemic. Reporting in Rochester, Carmela Boykin, News 8. Mark?
Carmela, thank you. If you or someone you know is having a mental health crisis, dial the Finger Lakes Lifeline at 211. To the latest on COVID-19 this morning, with U.S. health experts recommending a COVID vaccine booster for all Americans. Many in Rochester are already adding the extra layer of protection. Doctors say the booster is especially important for those with compromised immune systems. A local heart transplant patient says getting the third shot is vital to her recovery.
If I get COVID, I'm not going to live. My body just can't fight this stuff. Get the shots, get the vaccine, because, you know, it's not just for yourself, it's for everybody else.
So far, the booster shots are only recommended for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines 8 months after you get the second dose. Pandemic unemployment benefits are set to expire next month, with over 11 million Americans set to lose that added benefit outlined in the American Rescue Plan. The boosted payments will end September 6th. Over 20 states have already opted out of the additional unemployment payments. According to a study from the payroll and time management firm UKG, shifts among hourly workers in those states grew about half the rate of states which continue the benefits. A local expert says there are a variety of reasons why people are not returning to work.
It's hard to go back to work if you're juggling childcare or elder care or your own illness recovery. The other impact is that people don't stay put. They may be migrating, they may be retiring. We're seeing older workers are deciding, I've had enough.
Back in July, the national unemployment rate fell to 5.4%, down from 5.9%. New York's unemployment rate currently stands at 7.6%, the fourth highest in the country. All right, here's what some folks might be talking about at the water cooler this morning. A Toronto native setting off from Rochester to break a new record. Mike Shorman wants to become the first person with a disability to cross international waters from one country to another. Shorman has Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, impacting his balance. He is taking the 87-mile challenge from the shores of Ontario Beach Park to raise money for two charities, the Tyler Clementi Foundation and the Trevor Project, and he's expected to get there in 3 days.
Wow.
Hopefully good weather for him over the lake there, James.
Yeah, for sure, and awesome to see that. It's not easy. I could go about maybe a quarter mile and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So that's a long trek there. If you're thinking about your morning commute, it's a muggy out there, starting off in the 70s, but otherwise shouldn't be too bad of a start. You might run into an isolated shower or two, maybe some storms this afternoon, but the story is heat and humidity tomorrow. I mean, that's the best day of the week. Look at Tuesday, upper 80s, sunshine.
All right, James, thank you. That's it for us for now. Our next update coming up in 30 minutes. CBS This Morning is up next. Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.